Whether it's working on a classic Stephen King movie or one of his more frowned-upon films, getting involved with the king of horror can make a star, revive a career, or give an actor a new perspective. From helpful psychics to horrified housewives, these king roles have changed these actors forever. Anthony Michael Hall was one of the biggest young stars of the 1980s. A regular actor for teen movie director John Hughes, a veteran of the Vacation franchise, and a brief cast member of Saturday Night Live, his career seemed bulletproof. Then came the 90s, and Hall's career seriously tapered off. He spent most of the decade doing guest TV appearances and showing up in less successful movies. Hall was at a professional low in 2001. He co-starred in Freddy Got Fingered, and critics had some pretty harsh things to say about the film.
It sucks!
A year later, he managed to snag the lead role in a TV show based on Stephen King's book, The Dead Zone. For 6 seasons, Hall played the part of Johnny Smith, a man who wakes up from a coma with psychic powers. During its run, The Dead Zone was one of the highest-rated shows on basic cable. After years of misses, Hall had a hit again, and he's credited The Dead Zone with turning his career around. If Shelley Duvall's performance as a woman driven to the edge of sanity in The Shining seems like an authentic depiction of terror, it's because it is. Director Stanley Kubrick was a noted perfectionist, and his demanding style made her very emotional on set. One shot famously took 127 takes, allegedly in part because Kubrick wanted to push Duvall to the point of breaking down. Even though shooting the film was, by all accounts, a horrible experience, Duvall's performance was so memorable she soon became a very well-known actor. She told People magazine in 1981, "When somebody recognizes you at a Dairy Queen in Texas, you're a star." After the torturous atmosphere of The Shining, Duvall was more than happy to star opposite the kind-hearted Robin Williams in her next role, that of Olive Oyl in Robert Altman's Popeye. Not many films can boast a cast like Stand By Me. Fewer films can claim to be the starting point for no less than 4 successful acting careers. Based on Stephen King's novella The Body, Stand By Me tells the story of 4 boys searching for a corpse in the woods, and the 4 kids in question were played by new teenage actors Will Wheaton, Jerry O'Connell, Corey Feldman, and River Phoenix. As for Will Wheaton, Stand By Me was his first major movie role, and he joined the cast of Star Trek The Next Generation soon after. He's since gone on to become something of a geek icon, epitomized by playing a version of himself on The Big Bang Theory. It was also the first movie role of Jerry O'Connell, who would go on to a solid acting career on stage and screen, with perhaps his most prominent role being in the cast of the sci-fi show Sliders. Corey Feldman was the most established star in Stand By Me, having already appeared in Gremlins and The Goonies, but he continued to be extremely successful for the rest of the decade. Although his career peaked in the 80s, Feldman had already amassed an impressive body of work and definitely made the most of his time in the spotlight.
I'm in the prime of my youth, and I'll only be young once. Yeah, but you're gonna be stupid for the rest of your life.
And of course, there's River Phoenix, whose work in the film helped sell it to wary distributors. Coming out of this movie, he was pegged as the next big thing. He acted in several high-profile movies, including Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade and My Own Private Idaho, before his tragic death by overdose at the young age of 23. Although more experienced than many of his fellow cast members, Stand By Me also featured a breakout performance from another fresh face, Kiefer Sutherland, who would become a major star just a year later with his role in The Lost Boys. Morgan Freeman, the actor, is a huge star, but Morgan Freeman, the voice, is arguably even more well-known. As a performer, his calm but authoritative demeanor has seen him play everyone from a humble chauffeur in Driving Miss Daisy to God himself in Bruce Almighty. As a narrator, he's voiced over everything from Oscar-winning documentaries like March of the Penguins to the Discovery Channel's Curiosity, and his career as a voiceover artist can be traced back to a Stephen King role, the inmate Red in The Shawshank Redemption. Based on a novella from the King collection Different Seasons, the 1994 film had Freeman pulling double duty. Not only was he one of the main characters, but he also narrated the entire movie and delivered some of its most iconic lines.
I hope the Pacific is as blue as it has been in my dreams. I hope.
While The Shawshank Redemption bombed financially in theaters, it picked up a second life on TV and in the rental market, eventually becoming a massively beloved film for fans around the world. Many years later, Freeman was a guest on Graham Norton's talk show, and he poked a little fun at his reputation as a master of narration.
I hope people stop asking me to do stupid voiceovers like this. I hope.
Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Looper videos about your favorite actors are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.